All right. So we are doing women's health and hormones. Hugely important topic that probably doesn't get enough attention. And I know you're probably going to ask me, so when's the men's health and hormones one coming up? there's not one for this particular series. We're only doing, in fact, I should show you guys. This is kind of exciting. We are only um, we're only one away from completing our series of 8. So if you've been watching and participating, or at least jumping in to find the interaction tracker and filling in all of your answers so that we can see that you've been participating and listening, then you are getting so close to being able to get your diffuser, one of 3 choices. So if you've earned it by watching all of these, you will be very delighted in right before Thanksgiving, or actually, is it right before? Yes. Oh, no, actually, right after Thanksgiving. Sorry. I guess it's the 21st that I end up finishing it. So, pardon me. Anyway, though, it'll be good. Before Christmas, you'll have it, right? So yes, if you want to participate while you are watching, all you do is tap the screen and you click on that participants button. And on the lower portion of it, you'll find a little chat thing. And that's where you press the button in order to be able to kind of, send in an answer while we're doing this live. So show me that you're participating either live, or you can also do that Google form, which I'll put in the show notes, or through the Facebook group. If you guys haven't discovered this in Wind Oil Education, it's kind of a fun little thing. You can obviously always find our links to the topics that we're discussing for continuing education, as well as some other cool articles about what to do if you're planning for a road trip or things like that, or some little tips about how to handle holiday stress. So we've got some fun stuff in there. And if you want to know other, this would be where you would go to check out those actual Facebook groups. The YouTube page is where you can find others of these continuing education classes. You can email me, and we also have some reminders that get sent to people before some of these classes go on. You can either text at the lovely V to 81010 if you're kind of local to Orlando. And if you're a little bit farther away, you just do at Far and Loved. And then when you have events either like here in the area or versus being online so they can be participated in by everybody, you'll get all the notifications about that. Usually it's about twice a week. Okay, and then if you do have Remind, you can choose if you want to have the email notification versus the text. So usually however it is that you want to jump onto a Zoom call, that's the best way to do it. Okay, so I'm going to leave there and we'll go over into our first portion of the women's health and hormones amazingness that we're doing today. So I'm going to have you guys do a first question. I'm going to take a look at this first, and then I'll tell you what exact question it is that I want you to share. So get it in your mind, ladies. On a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being no unwanted symptoms or 10 being out of control symptoms, how's your monthly cycle doing? And that also counts for women who are peri or postmenopause. You still could have some unwanted symptoms, so you'll mark that kind of like in your, just mentally at the moment. And here's a couple of things that you guys may or may not realize are related to hormone balance. So this is partly to get you super interested and ready to hear some good things. And part of it is just many times, ladies, we don't take enough, what would we call that? Awareness. We don't use our own level of awareness and empowerment to be able to kind of see what it is that we're really struggling with. So here's a couple of things. Hyper or hypothyroid, if you think you may have thyroid issues, whether they've been diagnosed or not. Adrenal fatigue is a real thing. Difficulty losing weight, mood swings, trouble sleeping, infertility, poor memory, type 2 diabetes. These are all things that are very, very closely related to hormone balance. So I'd love if you guys could um, put in the comments for me. Here's your question number one. Um, uh, on a scale of 1 to 10, how much do you struggle with one of these? So you can pick whichever one like jumps out at you, but on a scale of 1 to 10, how much do you struggle with one of these? Um, well, of course, we can also think through if it's, you have a teenage daughter or a close sister or something like that, just kind of get it in your mind how much you guys need to be listening to the following information and make sure to pass on some really good things. Yeah, I'm already seeing some good comments. Thank you guys. Yes. So no cycling anymore, but let's see. 10 plus for all of them. Oh, bless your heart. Sorry, Tanisha. That's the struggle. We will definitely have to continue working on that with you. I know I've had a session with you before. We'll have to continue. Let's see, 6-ish. Good. Okay. Thank you guys for sharing. All right. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen again. And we'll continue on talking about the female reproductive system. Oh, actually, wait. Melissa, I know, has gotten some extra info from Dr. Marisa Snyder, and it's specifically about women's health and hormones. And she loves doTERRA. She recommends doTERRA nonstop. There's other really cool doctors out there. I mean, doTERRA is really great. So like you do find a lot of doctors, a lot of therapists, a lot of people who love doTERRA. But if hormones is like where you really need the extra help, take a look at Dr. Marisa Snyder, and I'm going to see if Melissa can pop the link to her page into the comments, because I want you guys to have that as a resource. It's, we're just doing a quick little overview here of some things that are, that I've experienced or that people close to me have experienced. But if you want like some real in-depth stuff, then you'll need a doctor. So you want her. Okay, so all of the ovaries and fallopian tubes, and by the way, have you gotten a clue? But if you're listening to this while around other people, you may or may not want to put in your earbuds. I am going to say things like breasts and, talk about some things that not everybody likes to have announced, over the loudspeaker. So, but here's what we got. So the endocrine system, plus a lot of other things, like all the secretions from our, what are we talking about here? Just all those feminine organs. That's kind of where I'm coming from. They impact so many of our other systems, and so these hormones are affected by nutrition, they're affected by hydration, and they are key in making sure that we are living a life that we will enjoy, free of these kinds of issues that we had just talked about. So it does pay to kind of pay attention to those kinds of things. Dr. Marisa Snyder, as well as many, many other doctors, including the Symphony of the Cells guy, Boyd Truman, says when you're talking about hormones, lifelong vitality is going to be like the number one thing that you've got to start getting on a regular basis, right? So if your answer to this was anything above 5, which hopefully, most of us are not there, but you're going to want to look at this lifelong vitality. It is the foundation for optimum hormone balance and energy levels. Now, we do have, lesson 2, we talked in depth about the lifelong vitality supplements. You can go back to the YouTube page to find the info there about, I think we call it nutrition and supplements. And so if you want a little bit more in depth, but suffice it to say, these are everything that you would be looking for in a setup of vitamins, the microplex B and Z, the E omegas, and then the alpha CRS, which are really amazing antioxidant, energy cofactors, anti-inflammatories. Is very well designed, very beneficial for your body, very like bioavailable. You won't find yourself with the neon yellow pee when you're on these because your body is getting the right amount that it doesn't have to throw anything off. And there's no synthetic things in it, it's whole foods based. Okay, so that would be like the basis. Another thing you may want to look at is this phytoestrogen complex. Now, I used to like really be super, super against anything that said phytoestrogen because I thought it was all bad. I'm like, why would we put more in our bodies? I didn't understand that um, this is a form of estrogen-like therapy that is not actually estrogen, and what it actually does is that it balances whatever's going on that's not right. So not only a deficiency where you may need more of something, but it also helps any excess estrogen metabolites. So this is going to be beneficial in many different cases, and I feel like I should also tell you too, because it has the genistein, which is a fermented soy extract. It does have like just promotes healthy breast tissue, brings balance to hormones. And notice here that even guys who deal with low T will sometimes need a phytoestrogen, like in this kind of thing, to be able to bring balance for them as well. And definitely helps a lot of those unwanted symptoms that are associated with the menstrual cycle. It's really not very expensive either, guys. So if it's something that you think you may want to, experiment with, it's not at a rate that you can't kind of, pop in and kind of see if it's working well for you. All right, so the bone nutrient is the next thing. This has been kind of fun to hear different stories from different friends of mine who've been using the bone nutrient. What's cool about it is many of the just calcium tablets or whatever are notorious for coming through the other side of the septic system, is still in their whole form, right? Our bodies cannot digest most of those calcium tabs or things like that. These would be totally different. It also comes with all the other things. So not only the calcium, but we need magnesium and potassium to be able to handle the calcium in large amounts. And so this is well designed for it to be bioavailable for us so that we can actually intake what it is. It's not going to overload our systems. So if you've got any kind of worries about weak or fragile bones, if you've ever had bone fractures, or if you have kids who, seem like they're getting hurt more often from jumping out of trees, Natalia, I'm thinking of you. You're definitely going to want to get some of this into your life. Rose, I feel like, yeah, she's amazing. If you guys haven't ever like made friends with Rose yet, I recommend you go ahead and start pretty soon. I mean, you can see here the great list of things that she's good at. She helps with emotional balance. She boosts libido, but it's not like a crazy amount of boosting. It's just it's nice. Promotes openness and confidence. That's actually one that I kind of see more often for me. I really do feel, I feel more queenly, more like the queen that I am when Rose is around. You can, if you've got menstrual discomfort, you can apply it to your lower abdomen. Most often I put it over my heart because I'm looking more for the emotional benefits. And it is, using this steadily is great for promoting regular ovulation if that's something that you're concerned with. I would say though, that Clary Calm is where I've seen a lot. I have so many stories about Clary Calm. In fact, that's my question number 2. Go ahead and put this in the comments for me, guys. Question number 2 is, have you ever used Clary Calm? I'm curious because I have like a lot of fun stories. Natalia was just telling me about something that happened with her where she was waking up with these crazy, crazy hot flashes. Now she's got 6 kids. She's still nursing. It's not like she's going through menopause or anything like that. But it was just something extreme where she would have like these night sweats that she'd have to change her shirt. She was so wet. And after having a couple months in a row, where especially leading up to the time that she would be having her period, she started noticing these like night sweats, where like several nights in a row she'd have this. She started doing a Symphony of the Cells protocol, which actually, if you guys don't know yet about Symphony of the Cells, you need to go ahead and look up one of these books. They have this great hormone balance protocol that's really, really great. And so I feel like even just 1 or 2 times using it is amazing. So that's the protocol that that Natalia used. Symphonyofthecells.com is where you can look up where to get that book. And then she also started putting Clary-Calm on her inner ankles and over her abdomen, leading up to the time when she would be going on her period, and no more night sweats. She's like, well, it's like the normal kind of like anyone who has a child sleeping next to them nursing is going to have a little bit of sweat on one side, but she's like nothing like what she used to experience. And so she's keeping that up on a regular basis. She has a once a week Symphony of the Cells. She and her husband do that. He gets the inflammatory protocol and she gets the hormone balance one. Okay, but I have other stories about Clary-Calm that I probably shouldn't take all the time telling you about, but I do know, like, my husband asks me to put this one on by name. It's one of the very first ones that he ever learned, because when I am not having balanced hormones, or when I am having mood swings or PMS, if I'm crying at the drop of a hat, he will very politely lean over to me and say, might I ever so gently suggest that you go put on some Clary-Calm? And it means something to me that he's taken a minute to learn the name of something and to notice, number one, that it actually helps me. It's not like it was the kind of thing where I was only using it at that time because I liked that it made my cramps much, much easier. Like if I had had that when I was in my teen years, and I had really, really bad cramps when I was, just first kind of starting out my period. And I'm just thinking through all the bottles of Midol that my parents would buy, at like every 2 months or something like that, we'd have to get a new bottle of Midol because I couldn't take the pain. If I had known that Clary-Calm cleared up those kinds of things as easily as they do, I could have saved myself probably some liver damage. Speaking of, hey, question number 3, put this in the comments for me. What is the hardest working organ? What is the hardest working organ? I would love, go ahead and put your guesses. And if you get this wrong, it's no big deal because I'm going to tell you eventually. But I'm curious if you know, what is the hardest working organ? So I'm going to go through and tell you just a little bit about the endocrine system in general first, which includes several organs. But so the endocrine system is directly involved in growth and development. It's involved in metabolism. Yes, we want it to be healthy to stay trim and slim and looking and feeling good. It's actually related to nutrition regulation as well. And so in order for us to be able to glean all of the nutrients from the foods that we're eating. And of course, overall homeostasis. So it's a whole system of glands that produce and send hormones to targeted organs and tissues via the circulatory system. I'm laughing because of a little homeschool thing that I did just the other day about the endocrine system, and I had 2 of my little people were like, one was a gland and one was a hormone, and then I had another little person who was the hormone, and they had to send the hormone through the bloodstream, which was another little kiddo who was making a bridge, like hands and feet, and the hormone had to go through the bloodstream and go to the rest of the body to send that message. And so that was kind of fun. So now I'm reading that and I'm like, oh, that sounds just like the thing we did. I know, total side note, I'm kind of a geek like that sometimes. Hormone mom or the homeschool moms, we do that. Okay, anyway, so essential oils can be very beneficial since they are circulated in the same way and profoundly benefit the cells they encounter in the process. So, just like that, those organs and glands that are sending hormones, the fact that we're using that same circulatory system, the bloodstream, and things like that, they're circulated all that same way. And so, we can really get a lot of benefits because the essential oils are so similar to what's happening in our own body on just like the like really good like if we're in homeostasis. Okay, I'm gonna check and see if anybody put over here hardest working order. Hey Tanisha, you got it. It's the liver. Way to go. Yay. All right. So yes, the liver is the hardest working organ. It is the underpinning of hormone balance. If you can get that liver into shape, then so many other things will fall into place. So some things that you can do are drinking plenty of water, and of course, including some lemon and possibly the Slim and Sassy essential oil is amazing. Zendocrine is also cool. They show the soft gel here, but you can get this in the um, like the 15 ml essential oil kind of thing. I like to be able to smear a little bit of Zendocrine over my liver and over my spleen, both in the mornings. Often I do this while I'm doing some dry brushing, which for me, I only take like 2 minutes to do that. But right before I pull my pants on, I'll go ahead and do a little dry brushing and smear some Zendocrine over those places. Sometimes I'll do some aroma touch or some cypress as I dry brush to kind of get all of those other like lymph system things kind of cleared out and circulating. But so for liver specifically, you can definitely show it some extra love with these kinds of things. So lemons, endocrines, lemon sassy. Caring for your pancreas, right? That's actually kind of a big deal too. Getting a little bit of the Slim and Sassy also supports that and regulates our blood sugar, helps us release extra water. For our adrenals, right? You can normally access those like closer to the back, just under where the rib cage finishes. Some things that you may look into for that are the magnolia. Applying that over those a couple times a day is really beneficial for just kind of, especially if you've kind of taxed your adrenals for a while, especially if you do like any kind of stimulants or coffee or things like that. And you want to kind of, take a rest from that and let them restore and regenerate. You'll want that just for topical use, but the Mito 2 Max is where you'll really get a lot of relief. What's great about the Mito 2 Max is they call it the energy and stamina complex, but you know what it actually does is it helps the mitochondria. That's why they call it Mito 2 Max. It has all these adaptogens and like some really great herbs that are not stimulants. They are helpful for your adrenals and all the energy production centers like the mitochondria. They're helpful for those, but not in like a stimulating, caffeine Red Bull kind of a way. So if you feel like that fatigue is one of the things that you really struggle with, these two new friends are going to make you very happy. Caring for your thyroid, because because it's kind of complicated, the whole I guess we're trying to say like we're not doctors, so you need to you need to be talking with a specialist who knows how to diagnose any of those kinds of issues. But if you can just kind of like help some of your habits, you can notice some big differences in general. So checking your nutrition, your stress level, and your water supply are really, really a big deal. And then here's something that I have helped. I have at least one friend who's told me that she has benefited from this. I've probably told 3 or 4 people, but one person said, "Oh yeah, my hair falls out less, and my blah blah blah." She tells me this 10 drops of clove, 10 drops of myrrh, 10 drops of frankincense, and 10 drops lemongrass. That makes a total of 40 in a 10 ml bottle, by the way. And putting that over the thyroid area up in the neck a couple times a day is very beneficial. So hope that helps you guys too. All right, I'm going to go ahead and get on to the next portion, this last one. Oh, yes, by the way, symphonyofthecells.com. I know I showed you the book earlier, but here is the hormone balance protocol that is in the book. And if you don't know much about this, you can just go to the website. The basic idea is that our spine is a really great, and the bottoms of our feet are both really good ways for us to get oils into our bodies. And so applying the oils in this particular order, like starting with the frankincense, doing the thyme, ginger, clary sage, grapefruit, roman chamomile, ylang ylang, lavender, and Siberian fir, in that order. There's a reason for it, and you can get into the science if you want, but in general, just having those on, and then also on the bottoms of your feet. And this nose symbol means that you're supposed to also smell it and take it through your olfactory system as well. Very, very beneficial. Okay, I'm going to switch over. Here's your question number 4, guys. What oil comes free when you renew your membership? Okay, so that's going to be your question number 4. What oil comes free when you renew your membership? Oh, I see that Tanisha asked a question here. She was asking what the 4, sorry, I better share my screen. Okay. What the 4 oils are for thyroid. It's clove, myrrh, frankincense, and lemongrass. Clove, myrrh, frankincense, and lemongrass. So 10 of each. Okay, great. Okay, so question 4 is what oil comes free when you renew your membership? So most of you who are watching this, you've already got your membership. You already have some amazing essential oils at home. We've already gone through the basics of how you keep them in multiple locations throughout your house, because when you're in the kitchen, you're not going to want to go back to the drawer you have way on the other side of the house to get the lemon out, right? If you're going to put some in your water, you're going to want that lemon to be in your kitchen. And you're going to want, that roller bottle that we talked about with the clove and lemongrass and frankincense and myrrh. You're going to want that where you're going to use it the most. So maybe that's in your pocket so that you remember 3 times a day. Maybe you have 2 of them, one you keep next to your bed and one you keep in your bathroom, so that while you're brushing your teeth, you can roll some on your finger and swipe it, over the thyroid area and on the bottoms of your feet, and then do that. So plan ahead of time where you're going to put your oils. Make it a lifestyle to be able to choose into supporting your health before you end up having some of those huge, huge issues that we saw before with the poor memory and diabetes and weight gain and all that kind of stuff, right? So as you are loving your oils, using your oils, and using the LRP meaning Loyalty Rewards Program, that way you can get all these amazing extra benefits. In fact, I'm going to show you a couple of the amazing benefits that you get here. Okay, so as long as you are using your LRP order, that ordering the style, that means once a month you're going to get at least a little something. So at least if you're getting 1 PB, that's product value, basically equivalent to $1 mostly, then you get to keep all your LRP points, which accrue very fast, by the way. At 50, you get to increase from 10 to 30%. That means if you're buying, say, 50 PB or $50-ish worth of good stuff that you're going to be using anyway, then you're going to go from 10% up to 15 to 20, 25 to 30. So after you've had your account for 13 plus months, you're going to be getting 30% back. So when you're spending $100, you're going to be getting 30 points that pop into your cart every time you order. I'm going to go ahead and sign in here and show you guys what I have in my cart. And I love being able to use these. Okay, so here I have my loyalty reward order. I always set mine for the 8th. I always just remember, I know I don't want it on the 1st of the month, because sometimes they have these really cool deals that I want to make sure I know about. Like I ended up getting 2 black spruce this past month because I happened to be super low and I was just about to order anyway. Now I need the Douglas fir. But anyway, so look, I have like 98 points, right? And that's just from, like maybe, is that maybe 2 orders? I think it's about 2 months I've let that accrue. And I can just use these points and just choose to pop them in here. And look, now I have fewer points here, but my Douglas fir is free. And because I'm over 115 PV, like I'm at 178 right here, so I'm going to get whatever the product of the month is come December, I'm going to get that for free. So I love that. Love being able to use my points to get things that I will actually use. I also love that I get to customize my Lifelong Vitality pack and be able to get stuff for way, way cheaper. If you guys haven't seen that before and you're, especially because we mentioned that Mito 2 Max, remember we were saying this would be one if you're struggling with adrenal issues. So normally it would be $39.50. That's the wholesale price. It's not even retail, but even for wholesale, if you're just going to buy it outright, it's about $40. But when you're getting it together with the Lifelong Vitality, it's only $20 that we're paying. So, so that one's a good one that I keep around quite a bit. I also love this probiotic. That's really a good one for some of us ladies. Sometimes it's not only our, just metabolic, endocrine, female hormones kind of stuff, but sometimes it's actually our digestion that gives us trouble. So that's one's really, really good too. And any kind of inflammation that you have in your body, you're probably going to want some of the Deep Blue Polyphenol Complex. This is really great too. And extra omegas is great if you have any heart issues. Terrazyme is another one I use all the time. So anyway, I just felt like I should let you know about that. The Loyalty Rewards program is how you can get those kinds of like really great, cheaper, discounted things. So you guys definitely want to know about that. Okay, so but the question is, what do you get after that 12 months has passed and you find an email from doTERRA and it's inviting you to renew your membership? Because originally you either got a kit, which waived the membership fee, or you paid for $35 for your membership fee so you could have everything for that next year at a wholesale price, which is 25% less than retail. So whichever option you chose, now it's been a year and they've sent you the email like it's getting close to your time. What are you going to do? Do you guys know what they get? Yes, Marcella got it. Okay, so yeah, Melissa said it too. Good job. Yay. All right, so it's peppermint, right? When you renew, it costs $25 to renew. So they'll charge that to account, but they give you a peppermint for free, which actually costs $23. So really you're renewing for a bottle of peppermint plus $2. And so I feel like that's a really, really good deal. I'm happy to have that as my method for continuing. So, so be on the lookout for that in case that wasn't something you guys knew about. If it's getting close to time, you can look for that email. Otherwise, just when you're making your order, they'll go ahead and kind of like, there'll be like a little pop-up window that says, peppermint has been added to your order and notice the $25 fee or whatever. I don't remember exactly what it says. Okay, what else do I need to tell you about? I want to give you notice that I have this immunity wellness program kit in here. And the next time it gets here, I'm going to be able to have the number 3 section. But you may not know about, did I tell you about? Okay, so black spruce also, which I ordered 2 of them. And Litsea was the freebie. That one's actually the oil of manifestation. You have today and tomorrow, right? Today's the 14th, tomorrow's the 15th. If you order before the 15th, then you will be able to get that for free as long as your order is over 125. Black spruce is 10% off all month. So like I said, I got a couple of those. They also have some cool holiday things. If you guys haven't popped into the holiday section, hurry because some of those are going fast. So there's 3 tracks of this wellness kit. We have the mind and mood track, There's also the immunity one, which you guys saw that I ordered. And the last one is relief. It's for pain. So the idea is you decide that mind and mood is something I want to like really focus on. And so you get sent for $75, you get sent this cool little pack of things that are going to be really helpful for your mind and mood. And then the next month, you're going to have the same price, 75 bucks, and you're going to be sent this focused, targeted wellness about mind and mood. So you'll get the lavender roller, adaptive, and wild orange. So notice they're different, but similar to what you had gotten previously. And then also that third month, you're going to get, and actually guys, some of these things that they have in here, like the bath salts and the body butter and the adaptive spray and the serenity spray, we've never seen these before. These are things you cannot buy other than in the wellness kit. So really, really exciting. You also, when you opt into that 3-month program of targeted wellness, you also have more discount, 20% discount, in addition to your already 25% discount. And yes, you still get LRP points on all of these. So the savings just really add up. But being able to get the Thinker, the Steady, they have a diffuser that's at a discounted price too for 20% off, and the Copaiba and Serenity and the adaptive capsules. So all of those are really great. And kind of very focused and targeted on mind and mood. So maybe you're the wellness kit person who is looking for immunity help. Again, a beautiful set of things. By the way, these tongue scrapers are so cool. And then some of the things that, again, we've never seen, like a sanitizing mist holder or a mini bottle of veggie caps. Notice that they're actually teaching you how to take these products internally, which if you're very first starting out, you may not be comfortable with that. But as you start to grow in your confidence about doTERRA as a company and the essential oils as like truly certified pure therapeutic grade, you will become more and more comfortable about taking them internally. And so this is designed to help you know how to do that. And there's a whole different set of things that people on this track get at their discount. The Relief Wellness Kit, this one's also really, really cool. So again, different freebies, different things. The one for month 3, actually, you're getting some empty roller bottles because so many of the things that they've given you, like the wintergreen and the aroma touch and the deep blue and the past tense, which notice the past tense is actually in a new bottle here, right? This is now, it's not coming in a roller bottle anymore. They have to have a safety cap on it. They elected they knew the FDA was coming out with a recommendation about things that, and they include the wintergreen as one of their ingredients that need to have this child safety cap on. So they're electing to do it before it's enforced. doTERRA is really trying to stay ahead of the game and keep things on the up and up. But look, okay, so there's all these other really great freebies that you can also, or not freebies, sorry, the 20% discounted things that you can get in addition to that. So yeah, I love that doTERRA really, like, they try so hard to make things easy, like to help us hit the easy button when it comes to taking care of our health and our wellness. And I really have such high respect for doTERRA because they're always trying to come up with something that makes it easier and more fun and more effective. And so that's what I love, the wellness kit. So take a look at some of those. They're really good, by the way, for that price point as well. You'll notice that if you were to individually go and like price those things, like the relief kit, for example, the first one, and it only costs $75, but just one of those bottles of Deep Blue Polyphenol Complex is $59.50. And then, but you get like 4 other items with it just for that one pack. And then if you're leaving that wellness kit on for the second month, it'll automatically change. You don't have to go and like try to switch it. It'll automatically be that. Then you can exit out if you don't want it. And then if you're, come back 2 months later and you're like, I'm ready for it. I really need that one. You can get the wellness kit number 2 instead, and you get 2 and 3 to finish off your nice little setup. Anyway, so I hope that helps you guys. I would like to just what do I want to do? I think there's talked about renewal, talked about LRP. Yeah, okay, I marked down here that I had to tell you guys about something in the cells, but I already did that twice, so I'm good. Okay, so now I'm going to go on to tell you about the 3 types of people. So most of the people who are listening in here are new to oils, or some of you guys probably have been using them for a long time. But regardless of if you're a newbie or a veteran, you are one of these 3 types of people. You're either someone who's totally interested in living the wellness lifestyle. You're mostly just about using and loving the products, feeling like empowered, and doTERRA wants to support you by offering you lots of free education, by giving you resources to be able to feel more and more empowered and use those things. And just like we were talking about, like just better, more naturally, and pursuing what's pure. The second type of person is sitting here thinking, yeah, these have been really great for me, but you know who really needs this is so-and-so down the street, or my friend at work, or my mom, because she's going through this and that. And you may be somebody who wants to share about doTERRA. And in that case, doTERRA has a different way to support you, not only the education, but there's a really cool commission program that allows us to get what we call free natural health care through doTERRA. And that just means that that we're getting at least getting our oils, our products paid for. What's nice about that is because the thing is set up like it is, we get to have fast money that will be able to cover the cost of what we're doing to keep our own families healthy. So I love that. The third type of person is sitting here thinking, I don't want to stop at just sharing with like 1 or 2 neighbors, or like with my family members, whatever. I want to do what Amanda's doing. I want to have like a mission to empower, in my case, it's kids and moms, to be able to just continue being courageous and choosing natural solutions and feeling empowered to be able to basically, I want to change the world. Who doesn't want to change the world? I don't know. Anyway, I have experienced some really amazing financial freedom because of the generous way that doTERRA supports type 3 people like me. And I'd like to continue more and more and more of that, which I'll tell you a little bit more about. I'm just going to take like 10 minutes to tell you guys about that real quick. So especially pay attention if you're type 2 or 3. But even if you're just type 1, you may want to kind of, keep your ears perked, just because there is benefit to at least, knowing what's out there. Okay, knowing what options you have. So to do this, let me tell you guys a super fast story about hauling buckets versus building a pipeline. So there's a woman who had this like long old stick, and she used to walk down from her village to the nearest water source, and she would load on all these buckets of water onto this huge stick that she would carry back up the mountain to be able to sell water in her village. And that was her job. That's what she did to support her family. Was she would walk down and walk up loaded every day, every single day. And she realized, as days sometimes passed where she just didn't have energy, or she had an injury, or one of her kids was sick, she realized, like, this whole thing, I can't do this forever. So she started building a pipeline. Slowly and consistently, she would take only as many trips back and forth to the water source in order to help her family live just the basics. And in her spare time, she began working on this pipeline. So over a few years, with consistent practice, she kept doing this, and finally she was able to turn on the spigot in the village. And now she was able to receive income and provide this, good resource for her friends, family, everybody. And she also had time freedom, so that if she was needing to take care of an aunt of hers who was ailing, or if one of her children needed extra care and had to go to a hospital in a different village, she had the time to be able to do that. She had that residual income because she spent that time building a pipeline instead of just hauling buckets. So the question for you is, what is it that you're doing right now? Are you in a traditional job that's trading hours for dollars, that's hauling buckets, where you don't have a real say on how far you can advance or how much you can earn, when you're really, you're limited in your own freedom? Or are you doing something that's much more long term? Something like the well done direct sales, like with a real residual income where you don't have any limits on your advancement earnings. You get to make your choice about that, how much you want to work in order to get the freedom that you are looking for. And in my personal opinion, I have three really big reasons why I feel like doTERRA is fantastic as a method of pipeline building. Why I feel like it's like the vehicle that's going to take me to the place that I want to be. So you'll notice a whole big list of things here, but I'm just going to pop out my three favorite. I love, actually, that doTERRA creates partnerships with growers around the world. And this is a big deal to me because this co-impact sourcing thing is it makes me cry. If you guys look up some of the co-impact sourcing videos on YouTube about different countries, Haiti is the one that I just it really gets to me. The idea of looking for people who are in a lower state of income and purposely going out to help them on the long term, not like some of the perfumeries that will take a little bit of essential oil and promise, they'll come back later for more or something like that, or promise to pay and don't even pay. I mean, there's a lot of really shady stuff that goes on in the essential oil world, not only in adding a lot of synthetics, which is actually one of the, I guess, like the number two thing that I love about doTERRA, which is their CPTG rating and the fact that they use a third-party source to be able to be so transparent about how the quality of their oils to a level that no other company is doing this, which is why it's used in hospitals and by doctors and things like that, because of this transparency. Like they're just really forthright with the results of their purity testing. And that also includes their potency testing, right? So there's pure, which is like organic, and that's great and all. But unless you have something that's also potent, that's going to actually do the work, as pure as it can be, I mean, like you can just do that with water, but you're not going to get the benefit. Okay, so doTERRA doesn't compromise on the purity, but the way that they do business with small growers on a global scale is amazing. And so I feel like the love and the appreciation, the gratitude that people who doTERRA works with, that goes into how beneficial the oils are for us too. All that fantastic energy just kind of gets magnified and beautified. Okay, so those are the two things I love. And then also, the fact that there's this amazing retention rate, the record-breaking retention rate of 65%, where the average industry usually only has 13% for retention. That means how often are people going to order after they've made an order from you once, right? So like Pampered Chef or something like that, or the leggings, or the bag company, or whatever it may be. Sometimes people are like, oh yeah, my friend's doing this, I'll go ahead and make an order, but they'll never get that again, ever. And so doTERRA is different because we have products that are so essential for living that optimal life, and people feel the difference and they love it. And when we train them well to know how to use the LRP program, they are going to come back and continue doing that because they've been well served, well trained, and they know what's good. And like they have that smell test. Get it? Smell test. So anyway, so those are the three things that I love most. Um, and was to actually make the money. The things that are involved with that are giving samples to somebody when they actually have a real need, and being able to have them have a real awesome experience that leaves them wanting to know more. So then when they want to know more, you teach them the ins and outs of how to get their own account, how to use what they're going to be having in their home. So they go ahead and make that enrollment choice and are super happy with the kit that they get or the single oils that they get. And then you continue to support them by plugging them into education. And that's as easy as it is. Now, the income opportunities, I apologize that some of these are not coming through very clear. I'll tell you here, the gold level is $4,875 a month, versus, way up here for presidential diamond, you're looking at over $100,000 a month. So these depend on where you want to be. If you're just wanting to pay for your product, well, then work like you just want to pay for your product. Choose those hours. If you're wanting to supplement your income to be able to do other things that you have as a goal in your family's life, maybe pay for your kids' college, maybe get your be able to take like this super nice vacation that you've been wanting to do with like your entire family, take them on a cruise or something like that, then that would be really great, versus replacing your income completely would be, just it depends on you how much you want to work. For me, it's more than just pay. I love that I get a bunch of free products. Like there's so many programs that doTERRA has that I get to try out things for free, like that Litsea from this month or whatever it is. Every single month there's something awesome that they're giving away. Plus, I'm buying things with my points. There's other incentive programs that come along every now and then, a couple times a year for sharing, that I get free stuff. Now I get to improve my health with these free products, right? This is like me and my family. We are not the same as we were 6 years ago when I had no clue about doTERRA, and definitely we're in a better place health wise compared to that. Now, I really love the idea of living with a purpose, right? It means something to me that I can like name people who have had some real differences in how their work life and relationships go, or how their body is handling different stresses, because of my help. And that whole living with a purpose thing makes a big deal. Here's my other one, changing the world, right? I mentioned that once before too. I'm a little bit of a closet tree hugger. My husband, he gets nervous sometimes when I start talking about environmentalism. Um, but the thing is, this is the place that God's given us, and it doesn't make any sense to me to treat it like trash or to not show some respect for it. And the way that doTERRA works with these companies and is always way, way, way above the standard industry in terms of sustainability. And I mean, you guys, like the black spruce is like one of the few things, or one of the many examples that like more recently has this really cool, their whole process is like completely, um, I'm just forgetting the phrase, zero footprint, right? So because they're taking waste that would be like just kind of sitting around in the forest that are already be cutting down. Like doTERRA doesn't do any of that. They connect with companies that have already been agreed by government agencies to be able to chop down these forests. And they're like, look, if you're going to be chopping these down anyway, can we just have the branches and stuff like that from them? And then they have this amazing way of making it all happen using the fuel from the branches. And it's really cool. You guys have to watch the video about it. It's neat. Okay, but anyway, so changing the world. And so I already told you guys a little bit about the whole idea of residual income. I'm going to skip that because I'm getting a little long here. How much time is involved? You guys, we said like it depends on you. If you only have 3 to 5 hours per week, then you're going to be able to pay for your product to get that free natural health care from doTERRA. If you have more like 10 to 15 hours a week, then great. You can supplement your income and be able to, see some big differences and how your money flow can go versus replacing your income, stopping your daytime job kind of thing, and being able to do this full time, changing, all those things that we talked about. If you are passionate about oils, if you care about people, and if you can follow a system and get things done, this could very well work for you. The next step would be for you to let me or Marcella or whoever it is that invited you to start watching these continuing education classes, let us know what type of person you are. If you're a 2 or a 3 and you need to get in onto the Business Made Easy presentation, we want to make that happen for you. It just, and this doesn't commit you to anything. It's just like this little 40-minute thing that we just kind of walk through, so you kind of know a little bit more about what's what, how commissions work, how, like, yeah, just like what is that, just a little bit of a deeper dive, I guess. And then getting connected into the daily mentor calls, and to have that training program that's super easy to follow step by step, so that you know, like, the mindset of being able to share in a non-sleazy way that isn't going to make your friends run away, right? So, if that's something that's intriguing you as we shared about it, and you may have a little moment now that, and suddenly you just know that it's time to start something new and trust the magic of new beginnings. Again, no pressure if that's not where you're at. But I know many of us had been looking for an opportunity like this that gave us that kind of time freedom. And yeah, so I hope you'll let me know if that's you. All right, friends. If there are questions, I can go ahead and take them, but I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording. Oh, by the way, again, don't forget the Google form. I will have it in the, what do we call it? Oh, sorry. The keyword is actually play big. Play big is the code word that you guys have probably been waiting for. Sorry, my gateway's so long. But the Google form that you're looking for is probably, you're going to find it in the show notes by hitting the little, like, down arrow. Like, if you're watching it on your mobile device, hitting the down arrow will expand it, and you'll see there will be a link down there to find the form to fill out, so you can get credit for this. Thank you, Melissa, for popping in the link one more time. Awesome, awesome. Okay. I think that's it, friends. I hope you have a fantastic day. And I don't know about where you guys live, but here in Florida, it actually feels really, really pleasant outside. I have actually my sweater on today. And I may try to do a little walk with the kids this afternoon, because it's that nice, like, kind of like you want to be out. Feels good. Hope you guys will enjoy. All right, many hugs. Have a good night. Bye.